Yeah,
Because honestly, that starts at home.
it does.
You know, you're going to
Yeah.
teach your kid how to, make proper, health decisions.
Mhm.
And it definitely starts when they're young, and it starts at home to get used to it. That's why
Mhm.
I try to tell my girl all the time, I'm like, you gotta, why is he fussing, looking at this Twix? I've never given him Twix.
Yeah.
So how does he know what Twix is like? You know what I mean? So
I'm not. I like to give him a little treats every now and then. You know what I mean? Because like when he gets a little treat, and he's like, "Ooh," and you get that little like, "Ooh, that was a good
yeah,
treat."
see,
But
that's what she's on. She wants to see the reaction.
yeah, I do
It
it.
makes her feel
You
good.
gotta
Makes you
like
know.
limit it though. Uh, I think it's easy to fall into that trap of like, here's some sweets. Because one, they'll eat it,
Yeah.
and two, they really like it, so they're excited to eat it,
And
right?
they go one more,
Mhm.
and now if they get the fussing for it,
Yeah.
you want to shut them up.
Although honestly, I'm trying real hard. I'm not perfect at it to not give him the things that he fusses over.
That's what I'm on.
I
Fussing
want
for it, you ain't getting it.
you don't get it because you didn't ask right. Now he's only 2, so I don't know if that actually understands, but
They're gonna,
you got to start at some point.
they'll
So
figure it out.
starting now.
Well, one thing that I believe is they learn to fuss for what they want.
Absolutely.
Because when they were babies, that's the only way they knew. That's the only way they knew how to communicate is with crying.
Yeah.
So you respond to a cry. You try to figure out what this cry means. Are you wet? Are you hungry? Are you tired? And you learn to. Sometimes you can judge based on the type of cry.
Yeah.
But usually, it's what are they doing with the cry? Are they, they pulling on his ear? Maybe that usually he's tired. So
Yeah.
you teach them to cry for what they want, and then they gonna get it.
Yeah.
That's why I tell him if he's crying for it, it's out. It's not happening. Just don't give it to him. You don't have to talk to him about it. You don't have to do nothing. Just he'll start learning. If I cry, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because my other son, he's learning because he's more of a laid back, chill kind of guy. His brother will fuss and fuss for what he wants. He just sit there and chill. Now he's realizing, well, me sitting back and chilling, I ain't getting nothing. This dude getting everything he wants because he's over here causing a scene. So now he's starting to vocalize, when he wants something, he's starting to yell for it, cry for it. And I can tell it's not, he's doing it because he's like, well, this is how I'm gonna get what I want.
He sees it.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what we're teaching him. We're basically teaching him if you want it, cry for it, and you're gonna get it. And that's what we gotta get away from for sure.
Yeah. Yesterday he was fussing over something, and I was like, all right, hold on. So I picked him up and we went into the room, made it all dark and stuff, kind of try to get him to relax a little bit. And eventually he calmed down. He fussed for a while, but I think that was the point when I thought about it. It was yesterday. I was like, bro, if he's crying for something like this, I don't want him to think that's how he can get out of things, right? So I picked him up and took him into the room and laid him down. He finally stopped crying, and then we took him back out there, and he got he was hungry. I don't know what it was, but either way, he was fussing about something, and I'm like, no, you're not going to get it if you're asking for it like this. That's not how you do things. So I took him out of the room. I don't know if that'll stick. Obviously, you got to stick to it, but I don't want to be in the grocery store walking around, and he's like, "Can I have a toy?" and then cries for an hour and a half because I said no.
Man, oh man.
I need to figure out how to stop that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we were at Chuck E. Cheese yesterday, and that they have a trampoline area at Chuck E. Cheese now. So the trampoline area is manned by one of the workers.
Yeah.
He sits at the door, lets the kids go in and out as they go. Make sure they have no shoes on, they have their bracelet and their socks.
Mhm.
But that guy takes a break every once in a while. So they lock it up and they go do whatever they have to do so nobody can go in there. Well, my son went up there, couldn't get in, and he didn't understand. Well, it's closed right now. So he starts flipping out. He wants to go jump. And I'm trying to explain to him, well, son, it's locked. And he's just thinking, I'm telling him he can't do it because I don't want him to do it. But really, no, it's locked. They're closed right now. We can't go in there. You know what I mean? And he wasn't even getting. He wasn't understanding. I actually had to redirect him to some games to get his mind off. Let's go play this game. I went to go to the basketball. I knew basketball would get his mind off it. So it does get tough because it's not like you can just tell them, "Hey, stop crying, and I'll give it to you."
Yeah.
They don't. It's not that easy. You
They're
know
not
what I
there
mean?
yet.
So, like you
Not there
said, you take them in the room. My girl, she was real big, and she gets them to help take a deep breath. And he eventually will breathe in and breathe out.
Oh, you got him to do that. I can't get him to do that.
Now, at first, he tries to. He goes like, "We say, take a deep breath." He goes, and that's it. It's like, nah, man, that ain't it, brother. You got to breathe in and breathe out. And once he does that, he's calmer.
That's fun.
And now I can say, look at me, and now I can talk to him, and I can say, hey, you need to go out there and ask your mother and say, please, and maybe you'll get it.
Mhm.
So once she goes out, mommy, can I please have this? Okay. Now you can have it. When you were crying, you weren't getting it. But guess what? Ask respectfully, nicely, then you will receive it.
Yeah, that's what I need to start working on more.
So he's gonna catch on to it. My other son, he's caught on. Please, thank you.
I cannot get. He'll say please, thank you, or he'll say please, thank you, and he'll say it both, which is the funniest thing ever. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, say please, and he'd be like, no, put it back. And then sometimes I just hand it to him, so I'm not thinking about it. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, please, say please, and he'd be like, please. I'll hand it to him. He'd be like, thank you, and I'm like, you're welcome.
Right? When they say it about themselves, it's like I was changing my son's diaper a couple days ago. Get him out, wipe him down, got him all hooked up, put his diaper on, I patted him, I said, all right, man, you good to go. And he's getting up, he says, thank you, daddy. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, look at this. Then I start thinking about it, I'm like, man, if you old enough to tell me thank you, you old enough to just quit it.
I know.
Come on, man, let's get it together.
Every now and then I try to take his diaper off, put him on our little the training potty thing we got. And I don't do it enough. It's my fault. But I think
it's definitely my fault too.
I think he's almost there, if not there, where we could start potty training. We just need to fucking do it.
Yeah, that's because with my daughter, I was on it every hour on an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she doesn't have to go every hour, come on, let's go sit in the toilet.
Yep.
We go sit there for 5-10 minutes. If we don't go in 10 minutes, all right, we'll try again. But I had to physically get her, sit her on there. And with my sons, I'm not doing that with them.
Yeah, they're not going to. Like, why would they think it?
Yeah, they don't want to. They want to play.
Yeah.
And even after she was potty trained, she's no longer wearing a diaper, but it's like, what happened? You wet yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because she was playing. She knew she had to go. Or she'd come to me and she's about to burst and she's not going to make it. Well, girl, you knew yes, she knew, but she was playing.
Yeah.
That's why it's up to me to say, hey, come on, it's that time. You didn't drink, you had a nice sized juice an hour ago. I'm sure you got to go, so that's where I'm slacking.
I got a friend, and what she does is she takes the training potty everywhere she goes. Because her daughter will do the same thing, right? She holds it way too long, and she can't hold it very long. So she'll bust out the training potty, throw a diaper in the bottom, and then set her on there so she can go. And then you just roll up the diaper, throw it away, and the training potty's good to go. I think she even puts a plastic bag in it just to be sure. But that's something, one of her little tricks.
Yeah, I definitely need to step up my potty training game because it's they're not going to learn on their own.
No, I mean, I guess
eventually, if you get a certain age, they're going to realize they can't walk around smelling like that.
If they're 5, like, why are you shitting yourself?
Right. They get made fun of eventually. But at the age of 2, like my daughter, she was potty trained before she was 2. And I also hear that boys is tougher.
I can see that.
I hear boys is tougher.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes down to, teach them how to stand up and use the bathroom. I already know that's going to be. Although I caught him, they came out of the bath one day, comes downstairs, not known, And then I catch him over there swaying himself, and this dude is in the dining room just peeing. He's just peeing, watching his urine just go side to side. And I'm like, okay, I was upset. I'm like, okay, he's pissing in the dining room. But then again, I'm like, okay, he is aware of his stream and where his stream is going. So I was like, okay, that's a good thing.
I guess
He's aware of his stream. You know
that's
what I mean?
funny though.
We got urinals too. We got little urinals that we actually put them in the bathtub on the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, put it on the wall in the bathtub. So I try that first. You gotta go pee. I set him in front of the urinal and let him piss there in case he misses us. It's in the bathtub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or I sit him on the thing, and you gotta make sure that whatever you sit him on has that little cup
You gotta have
piece
that cover.
Yeah, because one time I sat him on there, and that man, it was just he just went. He was pooping. I said, "Oh yeah." And next thing I know, I thought about it. I said, "Push your thing down." It was too late. Peter started coming out. Well,
gotta clean that up.
That was a lesson for Dad. Dad learned a lesson that day.
I was sitting there one of the first couple times I put him on his little training potty, and I was sitting there. I was like, "You gonna go potty? You gonna go potty?" And I'm like, "You better put your thing down," because it was like kind of up,
Yeah, just ready to go.
Right, you know what I mean?
Just ready to go.
you gotta push that down, buddy. And then he'd like shift around, right? He's playing. He didn't have to go. Thank God, he didn't have to clean up enough. But that could have been real bad. So yeah, it's fun though. It's fun. I enjoy it.
It is fun.
Yeah, you gotta laugh at it.
Yeah.
He was peeing in the living room. That's kind of funny. I mean, now.
Now. At first, I'm like, man, what the hell are you doing? But hey, I seen him come down there with no diaper on. I should have diapered him, right? So
Yeah, but I mean, now you got a funny story.
You got a funny story, man.
You can tell that at his wedding when he gets
I will. I will. Remember you were pissing in the dining room? Do your little dance. But yeah, man, the fatherhood is, it's a beautiful thing. There's nothing that I'd rather do than raise my babies, spend time with my babies, play with my babies. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a blessing. It's definitely an honor. There's nothing better.
I was thinking about this like yesterday. I was like, man, because I looked over at him and he was sitting in his high chair and his little feet hit the footrest now. Right? You know what I mean? And I was like, man, hey, look. She's like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, look. She's like, what? I'm like, his feet. She's like, okay, they're on the thing now.
Right.
They've always been on it. And I'm like, no, they have not. They were like above it forever, right?
Or just bury the toes touching. Now it's full on.
Yeah, like his heels were damn near on it, and he like puts his toes on there, and his knees come off the bottom of the seat, and I was like, oh my god,
those are the little things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I started thinking about all the different things too, right? Before he could walk, now we can walk. Didn't say, no words.
No words.
Now all of a sudden he's saying all sorts of shit. Like we were watching a Blippi episode, and he was at one of those self car washes with the pressure washer, right? And like right over here, there is one of those. And we were walking by it, and he points at it and says, "Wash car."
There you go.
I was like, "Damn, all right."
There you go.
And
those shows help, man.
Yeah, if you're paying attention, there's so many of these little moments that I just kind of like.
Those shows help.
You got to watch the right ones.
The right ones. Yeah.
The good ones can help.
That Blippi would teach them something. And Miss Rachel will definitely teach them something.
Mm-hmm.
That's really my go-to.
Yeah,
Miss Rachel.
He's really into monster trucks right now, so we watch a lot of Monster Jam stuff.
Yeah, they're starting to get more away from that education. Yeah, mm-hmm. They want to watch Spider-Man, and he's really, one of my sons is really into this Little Bear. You heard that one?
I've not.
There's this cartoon called Little Bear. It's it's so corny. It's so corny. They're
all kinds
You
of
know,
fun.
but he loves it, man.
Mhm.
And literally last night, he was up. We're all asleep. They were in our bed last night. But this dude was the only one up. I woke up at like 3:30 to use the bathroom, and he's still up watching Little Bear on the laptop.
He figured it out.
I'm just like, what is going on here? And then I go, I finally, I'm like, man, you gotta lay down, go to sleep. So he, God forbid, I take Little Bear away.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I grabbed the laptop, put it on the bed, told him to come in, lay down, because this dude's sitting in a chair, just sitting up, watching
Big boy
Little
style.
Bear. You know, and I'm like, man. I said, lay down and watch it, lay down. Eventually he was out. But
Mhm.
this dude is up watching Little Bear all night long. And Lion King. I love the Lion King. We watch Lion King like 5 times a day.
I put on Lion King and kind of I looked at an animal and then went about to say
They watch. As soon as they hear that he stops in his tracks. And he's like, oh my God, Lion King's on. And we watch all of them too. The live action one.
Okay.
And they got the new one that came out, the Mufasa.
Is it good?
It's actually pretty good.
Is it? Okay, I have to check that one out. I was waiting on
You
it.
should try it out. The storyline that they have, it shows you how him and Scar came up.
Uh-huh.
You even find out how Scar got that name Scar. It wasn't his original name. You know what I mean? It showed you a lot how they met Sarabi and Rafiki and all that. It's very interesting.
Okay.
It was a very good movie. Very good storyline.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, very good storyline.
Mhm.
I was surprised. I was watching this for them. Next thing I know,
You're into
I'm into it. I'm like, oh, you gotta change the diaper? Oh, we gotta pause this.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good. Very good movie.
I put on this movie Wild Robot because I'd heard it was good and it's about a robot and he'll sit there and he will just watch Wally. Like I mean, he will sit there upright and then he laughs at like the little joke. Like he loves it. Like he goes robot, right? He loves Wally. So I thought this on. So I was like, oh, robot. Heard it was good. Maybe he'll sit there and watch it. That movie was good.
Oh yeah,
dude. It's about like parenthood, sacrifice.
Called Wild Robot.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, what is this? And then
tonight.
we get to the end, and she's just like,
How did Leo like it?
he watched it because it's there's no people. There's like a lot of talking, which usually gets him out of it because he can't follow as well. But he'll watch it because there's enough visual that I think the kids can get into it. But if you know what they're doing and the story and everything, oh man, it was so good. I was like, this is.
I'm gonna have to try that.
This was better than I thought it would be. Like I'd heard it was good, but I was like, hitch in the field a couple times. It's good.
Oh, there you go.
It's good.
I'm watching my girl get some tears out of her.
Don't tell her though. Although to be fair, I didn't know. I didn't know at the end of it was going to hit you with some like pretty good stuff. And then she's like crying and she's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" I was like, "I didn't know. I'd heard it was good, so I put it on. Like it's a cartoon."
So shit, I'm over here wiping my eyes, man. Hold it together.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not that it's not me, it's you. Someone cutting onions? What's going on?
Right.
No, that's good though. Yeah, that was fun.
I'm gonna try that one out.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, for sure.